speaks on for better or for what? In sickness, till how long? Till how long? So we're obligated. For how long? How long are we obligated? Your lifetime. It is. Your lifetime. As we spoke some time ago about what Christ gives as an exception, and that is fornication. That's the only rule that he gave as an excuse or a reason, not an excuse, but a reason for divorce. So we are obligated. And you'd be surprised at what you can do when you really put your mind to doing. Now, it was interesting. Brother Brian came and he says that the customer wanted to have something greater than the inverters that we have on the coach. And so my thoughts was, how can I go about to resolve this? See, it's one thing that I've learned about God is that he will teach you all things. And there's nothing too hard for God to do. I've always known and have used this, that God, you gave man the wisdom to create this. Give me the wisdom to fix it. God created marriage, and he knows what it takes to fix it. And all it takes on each other's part is to work at it with the willingness of mind to, watch this, fix it. And if you follow his lead, he'll give you the tools and the necessary strength to fix things if they can be fixed. All right? And so last night, 2-3 days or so ago, I figured out what I wanted to do and thinking about it. And I ordered the inverter. Now, how do I hook this inverter up? I'm in a rush. I'm, pressed for time. The bus has to go out in the morning, early a.m., and the customer has a request. And the aim and the object of survival in this industry is customer satisfaction. And so we went down last night and began to just say, Lord, how do we do this? I know I want to hook up the 24 volts. And after I hook up the 24 volts, how do I get the 115 to 120 volts AC up inside the coach? And so the first thing I did was to make sure that I've got the unit hooked up and that the power that I have it hooked up to is sufficient. And so I tapped around with my meter, and I found 24 volts. Tapped around what I thought was the ground. I got the hot and I got the ground. So I hooked it up. I tapped it at first to see if the unit would come on, and it did. I said, okay, so we got a ground, we got a positive, we got a ground. We got 24 volts, So I put my meter on it, and sure enough, it was pumping out 118 volts AC current. So, okay, so I went on and tied it in and whatnot there, and got the unit mounted where I wanted to mount it and screwed down, tied down. So it was a little warm inside the coach, so I started up and turned the AC on, and the unit was not on. So I got my meter out and tested it, and this particular ground device that I had hooked to evidently went solid when the AC came on. So I had to go back in and find me a empty bodied bolt that is ground to the body by itself and tied into that. And that worked. Now, how do I get my 112, 118 volts up inside the bus? And so I'm walking around and I'm looking and I know where the unit is and I know where I need to get it. And so I'm looking and I'm peeping and going on and so forth and so on. And I finally found a hole in the bottom of the bus that is used for airflow down into the baggage bay. And so I stuck a hard cable up in there and fished it around, whatnot, and fooled around. And so I could see it from the other side. Now, how do I really get it up where I needed to get it? And it's way back, maybe about as far as from here where this tornado is sitting. And I can see it there, but I can't get it because it's in a little cubby hole. And so I get inside the coach and I begin to look around where I think it is and whatnot there. And I found some weakness in the side of the panel there, and I took the screws loose and I began to look around, and I happened to look up in there and I could see the wire sitting up in there. I said, okay, so what I need to do is twist it around a bit, straighten it out, and sort of shoot it towards that hole. And do you not know, Lord knows, it came right up to the hole, and the only thing I had to do was pull it in. Now, how do I get the other cord from down there up there? And I don't have, it's late at night, 9:30, 10 o'clock, I don't have the devices to make an end plug, so what do? And so the Spirit says, well, find you a heavy enough cord, cut it in two, tack it onto the end of that hard cord, pull that hard cord down inside, and then put the two of them back together. Down in the bottom side, permanently tied in so that if they pull it, it won't be no movement in or anything of that nature, and put the real live side up on the top side. And just stuck the rest of the cord inside, button things back down, and Brother Brian happened to show up at that particular time, and I said, well, test it out and see what we got. Sure enough, we got power, 118 volts. We put the light up there, the light came on nice and bright, put the test meter on it, sure enough, 118 volts. So God will teach you any and everything you need to know to fix things, if you are, watch this, willing and obedient. If you're willing and obedient. So in the marriage, there are going to be some difficulties, hot spots. These things are known to be because